Hi, Biology 112. This is Joy Colley. Today we're going to take a look at the anatomy of the eye using this little model. And the first thing that we notice is the whites of the eye. That's the outer tunic known as the sclera. And we'll see there are a few muscles on the sclera and a tendon. These are all associated with moving your eyeball around. We see at the very front the anterior portion of the eye, this clear window. That's the cornea. Lets light through. Behind the cornea is a little bit of a gap or a space. That's the anterior chamber. It's going to be filled with aqueous humor. We see a nice ring. In this case, it's sort of a blue-green. That's the iris. That's the natural color of your eye. And in the very center of the iris, there's a hole. That's the pupil. That's going to let the light in to the internal portion of the eye. So if we remove the sclera, that's the outer tunic, what we reveal is the middle tunic. It's a very vascular layer, so we've got some blood vessels running on the surface. This is your choroid layer. If we open up the eye to look on the very inside, the peach region on the inside of the eye is the retina. So the three layers or tunics of the eye are the sclera on the outside, the choroid in the middle, and then the retina on the very inside. And we do see some blood vessels there as well. Inside the eye, we have two relatively clear structures. The entire back of the eye is filled with vitreous humor, and vitreous humor is going to be identified by this clear structure. It has to be clear so the light can pass through, so that fills the eye. It gives the eyeball its overall round or ball spherical shape. The other clear structure that we have in this eye is the lens. The lens is what is going to, as light comes into the eye, focus that light onto the retina. So this clear structure is the lens. Let's look at the retina, sort of this peachy layer. We notice the optic nerve at the back. So this is going to send messages to the occipital lobe of the brain. Right where the optic nerve plugs in, physically attaches at the back of the eye, that exact spot. We don't have any photoreceptors right there. So that exact location is what we call the optic disc, which creates the blind spot. So we don't want to beam or send light there because we wouldn't be able to see it. There are no photoreceptors. But there's another region on the back of the retina represented by this little purple spot, this little area right there. That's where we have the most cones. That exact spot on the retina is called the fovea. We are trying to beam light there. So as light comes in and the lens focuses it, we don't want it to go to the blind spot. We do want that light to bend directly onto the fovea. So we have the retina, blind spot, fovea, vitreous humor, lens. We're putting on the choroid layer. When we do that, we see the nice iris that's intact, the pupil in the middle, and then the whites of the eye on the outside are the outermost tunic, the sclera. That's your eyeball.